Published 1849 EDT, the 4th of November 2017. Updated 1900 EDT, the 4th of November 2017. Outside Dan Biggar's house, the only sign of life is the sheep roaming free on his driveway. You found it then, says the fly half, waiting at his front door at one of the highest points of the Gower Peninsula. Most people give up after 5 minutes and drive home. It is a haven away from Rugby, overlooking the Lucka Bridge, and an escape from the spotlight that has followed generations of Wales no-tens. Dan Biggar lives at one of the highest points of the Gower Peninsula. Biggar has decided to leave Wales and will move to Northampton Saints in 2018. Biggar claims one of the main reasons behind the switch is to get out of my comfort zone. Wales can be a tough place for an outside half to ply their trade sometimes, he laughs. It's nice to have some peace and quiet in the living room. Every wall is covered with photographs, 24 to be precise, but none are related to rugby. Unopened baby furniture is primed for the arrival of his first child, and all is in place for the next chapter, which will coincide with his move to Northampton in 2018. With the baby and everything else, it just felt like the right time for a fresh start, he says. We're going to be massively sad to leave here. I've been with the Ospreys for 10 years and played with some lads since I was 15. I grew up 20 minutes away and everything's second nature. You're on first name terms with the security guard on the gate. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. Biggar is a creature of habit, keeping the same mangled kicking tee for over a decade. It looks like a dog chew looking out from his window. He picks out the villages in the distance where Lee Halfpenny, Ryan Jones and other Welsh rugby stars live. Now, he feels, is the time to broaden his horizons. With the WRU adjusting their stance on overseas-based players, Biggar's selection prospects will not be harmed by the move. The 28-year-old has earned his 3-year payday in England, and believes the opportunities in the Aviva Premiership outweigh the kudos of joining a select group. He is currently training with the Wales squad ahead of the autumn internationals. Biggar was selected for the Lions tour of New Zealand but failed to nail down a starting place. Biggar was the form fly half in the early games but missed out on test selection. You see those one-club guys, Steven Gerrard, Paul O'Connell, Jamie Carragher, Iniesta, Ryan Giggs, and admire them, says Biggar, but it's different if you play for Man United and winning trophies every year. I've got all the time in the world for those one-club guys, but that just wasn't me. The Premiership gives you an occasion every week. You're at Gloucester one week, Welford Road the next, and each week you can really get yourself up for every game. Sometimes in the Pro 14, there aren't many fans and it's harder to motivate yourself. I want to see what goes on outside, though, is the matter of the autumn internationals. Despite the form of Rhys Patchell, Owen Williams and Rhys Priestland, Biggar is likely to remain as Wales' number 10 until the World Cup. He is a fierce competitor, channeling an inner HWAL, and has proven his test presence in all of Wales' statement victories since the 2012 Grand Slam. The coaches get us peaking for World Cups. Our record shows that, says Biggar, who developed his stage presence as the narrator in Blood Brothers at the local school. These 2 years leading up to the World Cup are about getting positive performances and positive results. We've got a tough autumn, with the big three in Georgia, but that's what you want. People in Wales like to see change, but, from a player's point of view, there's nothing better than having stability in a group. When you get into camp, your core group is pretty similar and you all know what's expected of you. It wasn't as easy when Gats. Wales head coach Warren Gatland was away with the Lions last year. Owen Farrell and Johnny Sexton were the preferred fly-half choices for the Lions. Biggar told Warren Gatland of his intention to leave Wales during the New Zealand tour. Biggar told Gatland of his intention to leave Wales on the morning after the third Lions test. I didn't want him to find out through the papers or anything, so I spoke to him personally, says Biggar. He wasn't coming back on the plane with us, so I wanted to catch him before we left. He was top draw. He's been there and seen it all 10 times over, so he's great for a few words of advice. The Lions tour brings back bittersweet memories. Biggar was the form fly half in the early games but missed out on test selection to Owen Farrell and Johnny Sexton. The fly halves, according to Sean O'Brien, overpowered attack coach Rob Howley, but Biggar takes a different view. Naturally I was disappointed not to get a look in with the test squad, but I wouldn't be human if I wasn't disappointed, says Biggar. I don't think I could have done much more. It's not like I was competing against two average players. Johnny and Owen are both great rugby brains with so much to offer. Sean's entitled to his opinion, but, in my opinion, it was a little bit unfair on the coaches. Most top-class no-tents take control of the game plan. They're always going to have a massive say on your moves or your kicking game. I thought every coach was spot on. Everyone says they want the players to take more ownership. That's what happened with Johnny and Rory Best with the midweek team. They took things by the scruff of the neck, and that is what Biggar will be doing over the next month when he steps out of the shadows and back into the spotlight.